Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Wakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And I say shalom to you Akim out there. And this is in the news, a quick sit-down lesson on this August the 11th, 2022 at 12:45 a.m. Central Standard Time on this Thursday morning in the a.m. at night. And this is a news article for In the News for today. And this was published on August the 9th, 2022 by Reuters. And this is from the Jerusalem Post. And the highlight of this news article, and it reads for In the News, Belarus to stage Air Force drills this month. And that goes into, I believe like a couple of days ago, Russia was going to have a deployment of more Russian troops. Because, Russia and Belarus, they cool with one another. They're allies with one another. And read the news article. It says Belarus Air Force will stage a military training exercise from August the 9th to August the 25th, a defense minister says on Tuesday. The exercise will involve live firing and be held 2 stages from August the 9th until August the 11th, which is today, in Belarus, and then at the Oskolut training, if I pronounce the name right, training base in Russia between August the 22nd and August the 25th, the minister says. So yeah, as I mentioned before, you're gonna have more increase of these military exercise drills, because China, they just wrapped up their exercise drills over there in the South China Sea. Now you got exercise drills. I believe the United States, they're gonna do a drill as well too with India. I'm not for sure if it's with India or something like that, I believe. But, you're going to have more increase of these military exercise drills, between the nations, because you got Russia and Belarus, is allies with one another, because you already have the current situation going on between the Russian-Ukraine thing. And then you have a lot of troops deployment in Eastern Europe, United States, they have had their additional deployment of 1,000 troops about like early on in this year. I believe Joe Biden made that announcement early in this year. So I expect to see more of an increase these joint exercise drills around the world, not just only in Eastern Europe. And it's going to be in different countries as well too, Because, like I mentioned, he was going to have a military drill with India and another country. I'm not for sure if it's the United States. If so, it's going to be the United States and India. It's going to be like, I forgot what border it was. Because you had, I did a video on this not too long ago about the 2 countries going to have exercise drills very soon. Or if it already started already, or getting close to starting, because you had tensions between India and China, and you might see those tensions might that those tensions gonna might rekindle. It's gonna probably might start again. Between the two sides, because not too long ago, I believe it was in 2021 or 2020, you had the little cross-border clashes between India and China. And that goes into the nations rising against nations. And I'm gonna bring up Joel, because like I mentioned before, in my further previous videos, you've been seeing the nations doing if it's simulation flight, warplane exercise drills, or in the seas and the waters of a Navy joint exercise drills, or if this is a military simulation style attack on their adversaries type drills, live military drills, live military ground troop drills, missile firing test drills. These are all the things you've been seeing from the year 2021, as you've been seeing it in the year 2022 as well too, because this is a year of Yahweh Shem Shai is turning up the heat. And Elder Apostle Tahar made that statement in the beginning of January 1st of 2022. And he made that statement saying that Yahweh Shem Shai is going to turn up the heat on things of biblical prophecies. Is heating up. Yahweh Shem Shai is heating up things. And that's what we've been seeing as Elder Apostle Tahar made that statement. And that's definitely true. And that's what we've been seeing going on of prophecies taking place around the world. Even though tensions might calm down, but it's going to increase now more than ever. On one country, you might have tensions between the nations or upwards of the people of the world, because you might have the nations increasing against one another. You might have the nations, the citizens of that country doing protests of upwards of the people of the world. Like scripture says, 2nd Ezra 15 verse 16, I believe. They should not regard their kings nor their princes, and they should stand in the course of their action. So prophecy's been going on, even though it might calm down a little bit, but it's going to increase and intensify more than ever. And that's what we've been seeing on and off, and it's going to continue on and off, because even though everything is a balance, but it's going to continue to increase now more than ever. You're going to continue to see these nations increasingly against one another. That's why you're seeing the ongoing, non-stop, continuing increase of these proxy wars, commotion of wars, and rumors of wars. These nations gearing up, preparing for war. That's why you've been seeing all these military exercise trainings, even though people might say that, oh, it's just training and all that, but it's more to that. That's why you've been seeing the increase of these nations doing military drills with one another, simulation type drills, simulation attack type drills on their adversaries. Was a couple of weeks ago that what Israel did, a simulation type drill on Iran, even though Iran is trying to get back into the nuclear deal, which is not going to be successful any old way. It doesn't matter how many times they try to come to some type of agreement on both sides of the nuclear deal, because it seems like it's not going to work out. It's not going to work, because the United States, they're going to keep on putting harsh economic sanctions on them, because Israel will follow along with the United States, because the United States and Israel, they are strongly significant security tie, allegiant alliance of allies, because Israel still going to look at Iran as a threat to the United States and to their country as well too, and to the world. So that nuclear revival of the 2015 nuclear deal, that's not going to happen. So it's going to increase more and more of these things, because Yahweh Shem Shai is setting his things up, because this is the year of 2022 of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is turning up the heat on prophecies, and it's going to continue now more than ever. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim this amongst the Gentiles, which is the other nations outside of the nation of Israel. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men, which we're seeing right now with the nations doing their military exercise drills, training exercise drills, purchasing nuclear weapons. United States continuing giving military aid to Ukraine. With the Ukraine and Russia war is keep on continuing going on, as it started all the way from February all the way into now, Then with the Palestine-Israel conflict, with the Yemen situation going on, with the clashes between over there in Africa, the nation of Chad going against the Sudan forces, and then you got protesters over there in Sudan as well too. So it's a lot of activity going on, That's why you're seeing these nations waking up the mighty man of what North Korea they was doing with their missile tests. South Korea, Japan, and the United States teaming up, but going against North Korea because they look at North Korea as a threat for firing nuclear missiles close near to the Sea of Japan and close to Guam, because they said they can have nuclear weapons can launch from Guam and Japan as well too, So you're seeing these things increasing now more than ever, And then Joel 3:10, let the weak say I am strong, because these nations are starting to show their military strength and capability. As you've seen this past about almost close to like a week ago, as China was sending a huge warning to the United States and the allies of the United States that's fully support Taipei being a self-governing country, because you're seeing all these things taking place, So expect to see down there in South China Sea, over there next to the Taipei Island, the tensions are going to increase more and more. That's why I brought out Joel 3 and 9, Iran showing their military capability, China, North Korea, Turkey, Libya, Ethiopia, and all these other countries as well too, and definitely Russia as well too, and China, the superpowers, showing that military might and strength. And these other small countries as well too, they got nuclear capability as well too. That's what the scripture says, let the weak say I am strong, This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim this amongst the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, and let them come up. And this is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 10. Verse 10 in the book of Joel, beat your plowshares and the swords and the pruning hooks into spears, and let the weak say I am strong, right? That's why, like I mentioned before, let the weak say I am strong. China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and these other countries as well too, India, Pakistan, and more other countries, Turkey, all the countries, Libya, Ethiopia, all these nations, they got their military might and capability as well too. United States is not the only nation that got nuclear capability. I might as well say Israel and the United States is not the only countries that have military capability. China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea as well too. They got nuclear capability just as much as the Israel and the United States combined, And that's why you're starting to see these nations are rising up, that warlike type spirit, that military might and strength. That's why I brought out Joel 3:10. Let the weak say I am strong, So with that, hope this was edifying. The spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Yahushua. And first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles on the great millstone, preaching his word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And until next time, I will say shalom and a ball.